Senior US officials have arrived in Solomon Islands attempting to limit the damage of the controversial security deal with China. Campbell of the National Security Council and Daniel Kritenbrink of the State Department led a delegation which held talks with the Prime Minister and opposition leader.
The Americans have arrived in the Solomons days after China's significant diplomatic victory here. Two top officials, too late to stop Beijing's deal, but attempting to prevent relations with China from getting too cosy.
We just had a very good meeting and we had a nice set of exchanges with the Prime Minister and his team. It's just wonderful to be back in the Solomons. Thank you.
This is a sign that the United States is not comfortable with the way Australia has handled the matter so far and is looking to kind of throw a bit more muscle into this equation.
The full text of the deal is yet to be made public. It reportedly allows Beijing to send military forces to protect Chinese-built infrastructure, as well as make ship visits, carry out logistical replenishments, and have stopover and transition in Solomon Islands. That language is too vague for the US, which believes it effectively paves the way for the Pacific Island nation to be turned into a Chinese military base.
Looking around the Pacific, it's a very target-rich environment if you're trying to target Australian interests and Western interests.
The PM says Washington and Canberra's concerns are overblown.
Let me assure the people of Solomon Islands that we entered into an arrangement with China with our eyes wide open, guided by our national interests.
Chinese police helped quell riots last year, which were partly sparked by the government's call to terminate relations with Taiwan. China's also been training local police forces. It's the Solomon Islands' largest trading partner and recently gifted $90 million as part of a development program.
I really don't understand how this cooperation poses a serious risk to the United States. How can the Solomon Islands security cooperation with other countries constitute a threat? Does the United States regard island countries as independent sovereign countries or its own appendages?
The Solomon Islands, just over 2,000 kilometres from Brisbane, 7,000 from Beijing, may not be the last Pacific nation to form such a deal with China. The US delegation earlier visited Fiji and Papua New Guinea.
China's exclusive economic zone is tiny. They're looking around for additional fishery stocks. They're also looking around for seabed resources. And they're also looking around for opportunities to influence the United States and to influence Australia.
This nation of 686,000 is now seen as a pawn in a geopolitical US-China chess game. And this high-level visit reflects the size of the stakes. Brent O'Halloran, Sky News.